Egypt's president declaring a state of emergency as violence escalates in Cairo and the death toll rises. It is Wednesday, August 14th. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. Join us right now is Jeff Grocott. He's world news editor for the Wall Street Journal to help us break this down. Jeff, a lot has been happening in the last 24 hours. Observers worrying the country could plunge into uncontrollable violence, even civil war. Tell us what we've been seeing.
Right. For about a month, the government has been threatening to break up protests on two squares in Cairo of supporters of the ousted President Mohamed Morsi. They went in today at 7 o'clock, and our reporter there saw tear gas and gunfire. We're seeing a lot of reports of a lot of casualties. The death toll is going up quickly. It's up to about 150, the last that I saw.
Okay. You mentioned one of our reporters on the ground, Maria Abi Habib. She has been seeing this firsthand. Let's take a listen to what she's been hearing.
The situation has escalated quite drastically. It's been violent, and neighbor is fighting neighbor. It's not even about the police force, living up to its reputation of being very heavy-handed with protesters. It's also just neighbor versus neighbor fighting for the future of the country, which is, will the country become secularist or will it become an Islamist nation?
Yeah, Jeff, human rights groups, they're condemning the Egyptian police's brute force. What is the international reaction right now to what's happening in Cairo?
Also condemnation, the White House has as well. Egypt has declared a state of emergency for the next month, and the White House has also condemned that. Turkey's come out strongly as well against it. Pretty much to be expected. We also understand that the Vice President, Mohamed al-Baradei, has also tendered his resignation, and that makes some sense. One of the things that we've been hearing, the government said they wanted to crack down on these protests weeks ago. They've given a few ultimatums, they've been delayed, and the understanding is there's been a very big internal struggle between the chief of the military, General al-Sisi, and Mohamed al-Baradei. And if al-Baradei is resigning now, that would make some sense because of the brutality of this crackdown, and the government had been saying it was looking for other ways to avoid a brutal crackdown, including putting a cordon around and keeping food and water from coming in, and that appears not to have happened. They went maximum force, it looks like. Although the government has said that the forces used restraint in going in. So
you mentioned this widespread condemnation. In terms of the U.S. response, anything further beyond words that is being weighed, Jeff?
So far we don't know. I mean, we know the U.S. gives $1.3 billion a year to Egypt and its military, and that's a very important relationship for the Mideast. Right now we have the White House condemnation of the violence.
All right, Jeff Grocott will continue to follow this developing situation, including those reports that the VP has resigned. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank
More
you.
on WSJ.com.